Disclaimer: this content is only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. I never thought I'd say this, but letting my husband sit with another woman alone, in our room, was the beginning of a choice I now regret deeply. It didn't seem like a big deal at the time. I trusted him, I trusted her, and honestly, I trusted myself. We were married for 7 years, and things had become routine. Love was still there, but it had faded into the background, like a favorite song you barely hear anymore. So when Maya, my friend from college, came to visit and asked to talk to him privately about something personal, I said yes. A casual yes. A thoughtless yes. A yes I now replay in my head like a warning bell I ignored. My husband, Ryan, had always been calm, dependable, the kind of man who never made me question my worth. He was more of a listener than a talker, someone who noticed small details like when I changed my shampoo or was silently sad. And Maya? Well, she was the opposite of me. Outgoing, bold, charming. The type who could walk into a room and light it up, and she always had stories that made people laugh or blush. When she smiled at Ryan that day, I felt a strange tightening in my chest. But I pushed it aside. I told myself I was being silly. She's just a friend. He's just being polite. It's just a conversation. But as the minutes passed, something shifted. Laughter trickled through the door, soft, low, intimate. The kind of laugh Ryan hadn't shared with me in months. I sat in the living room, pretending to scroll on my phone, my heart pounding in rhythms I didn't recognize. My mind began to fill in blanks I didn't want to see, her hand brushing his knee, his eyes lingering on her smile. No, I thought. Ryan isn't like that. But the seed of doubt had been planted. And it was growing fast. When the door finally opened, both of them walked out with that weird energy you can't explain but can feel all over your skin. Maya gave me a casual smile, too casual, and said she was leaving early. Ryan didn't meet my eyes. He just sat beside me, his silence louder than any confession. I asked what they talked about. He said, just catching up. That was all. Just catching up. But something in his voice had changed, softer, or maybe heavier. I couldn't tell. I wanted to believe nothing happened. I still do. But every moment since then has felt like I opened a door I can't close. Was I too trusting? Too casual with something sacred? Or was I just waking up to a reality I never wanted to face? So, tell me, have you ever given a yes you wish you could take back? What would you do if the person you trusted most made you question everything? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Should I confront him? Or should I trust my gut and walk away? Let me know what you think and don't forget to vote in the poll. Part 2 is coming soon. That night, I couldn't sleep. Ryan lay beside me, facing the other way, his breath steady, like nothing had changed. But everything had changed. Or maybe, it had always been there and I just didn't notice it before. The way he reached for his phone more than me. The way his smile felt more polite than warm. And now, after Maya's visit, all of it felt louder, clearer. I kept asking myself, why did she need to talk to him privately in our room? What was so personal that I couldn't hear it too? And why did he agree? Ryan had always been open with me, transparent. That used to be one of the things I loved most about him. But now I could feel a distance, not just between us, but inside me, like I was falling into a space I didn't know existed. The next morning, he made me tea. Just like he always did. Chamomile, 1 sugar, no lemon, exactly how I like it. But when he placed it in front of me, I noticed his hands trembled slightly. I didn't say anything. I just stared at the steam rising from the cup, wondering if he was nervous or guilty. He asked me how I slept. I said fine. I asked if he and Maya had fun catching up. He nodded. That was it. A nod. No smile. No extra detail. Just enough to make it clear he didn't want to talk about it. Later that day, I texted Maya. Just a simple message, thanks for coming over yesterday. Everything okay? She read it. Didn't reply. 4 hours. When she finally responded, it was just a thumbs up emoji. That was the moment I knew something wasn't right. That wasn't the Maya I knew. The real Maya would have called me, laughed it off, told me everything. But this version? Silent. Distant. Strange. And Ryan? He acted normal. Too normal. Like he was trying to erase the awkwardness by pretending it never happened. But love doesn't work that way. Marriage doesn't work that way. Not when you feel like a guest in your own home, not when you watch your husband look at another woman with something close to softness. I'm still not sure what hurts more, the thought of him hiding something, or the idea that maybe, just maybe, he felt something real. So tell me, what would you do if your partner started acting like a stranger? Would you keep pretending? Or would you dig for the truth, no matter what it breaks? The following days felt heavier than usual. I caught myself overthinking every word, every glance, every pause in our conversations. Ryan was still doing all the right things, bringing me flowers from the market, making breakfast on Sunday, even asking if I wanted to go out for dinner. When I asked who it was, he'd say work stuff and then change the topic. But Ryan's job wasn't the kind that involved late-night messages. And Maya? Still distant. No calls. No messages. Just silence that screamed louder every day. I checked her social media one night, no new posts, no stories, not even her usual check-ins from the gym. It was like she'd gone into hiding. Or maybe, she was avoiding me. That week, I ran into an old mutual friend, Priya. Over coffee, I casually mentioned Maya's visit. Priya raised an eyebrow. "That's funny," she said. "Maya told me she hasn't seen you guys in months." My heart dropped. I forced a smile, nodding like I didn't hear anything strange. But inside, a storm was already brewing. Why would Maya lie about something so small unless she had something big to hide? That night, I finally asked Ryan directly, "Is there something you're not telling me?" He paused, mid-bite of his food, then looked up with the calmest face I've ever seen. "No. Why would you think that?" And that was it. No anger, no confusion, no defensiveness. Just a cool, collected question that made me feel like the paranoid one. I nodded, not trusting myself to say anything more. But I couldn't ignore the weight in my chest anymore. I started thinking maybe this wasn't just about one visit. Maybe it was about what we'd lost between us over time. The romance that used to come so easily now felt forced. Our touches had become routine. And now, Maya had slipped into that gap like a whisper, soft, but dangerous. There's also a part of me, one I try to silence, that wonders if Ryan's feelings were shifting long before this. Maybe Maya didn't cause the change. Maybe she just brought it into the light. I found myself replaying our past, the way he used to look at me during road trips, the silly love notes he left on the fridge, the warmth in his eyes when I laughed too loud in public. It's strange how something so beautiful can slowly fade without you even realizing. Now, I'm left wondering, is this the beginning of something breaking apart, or the start of something we both never dared to admit? What do you think is really going on between Ryan and Maya? Is he hiding something deeper, or is it all just in her mind? Drop your theories in the comments. What would you do in her place? A few days later, I came home early from work. I wasn't planning to, but something just pulled me back. Maybe it was instinct, or maybe I just couldn't handle the silence in my head anymore. The house was unusually quiet. Too quiet. Ryan's car was in the driveway, but the lights in the living room were off. My heart started pounding, louder than my footsteps as I walked inside. I called his name once. No answer. Then again, softer this time. Still nothing. The door to our bedroom was slightly open. And from inside, I heard voices, low, careful. A woman's voice and his. My breath caught. I froze there, outside the door, not sure whether to step in or step away. The way they were talking, it wasn't loud or passionate, but it felt intimate. It felt wrong. I couldn't make out the words. I didn't want to. My hand reached for the doorknob, then stopped. What would I even say if I walked in? What if it was innocent and I was overreacting? What if it wasn't? Every possibility ran through my mind like a storm. But in that moment, the silence between us over the past week felt deafening. And this just confirmed something was being hidden. After a few minutes, I backed away quietly and sat in the hallway, heart racing. The voices stopped. Footsteps. Then the bedroom door creaked. I looked up and there he was. Alone. Just Ryan. His expression froze the second he saw me sitting there. "You're home early," he said, like nothing was out of place. Like I hadn't just heard another woman in our bedroom. I looked past him into the room. No one. Not even a bag. Not a sign of anything. But I knew I hadn't imagined it. I asked, "Was someone here?" He hesitated for just half a second. That half second told me everything I needed to know, but nothing I could prove. "No," he said. Calm. Too calm. Why? That night, I didn't sleep again. And this time, I didn't even try. Because the truth isn't just in what people say. It's in what they avoid. What they hide. What they pretend isn't happening. So now I'm left wondering, was it Maya again? Or someone else? Am I chasing shadows, or finally seeing the truth? Comment below, do you think she should confront him directly? Or wait to catch him in the act? What would you do if you were standing outside that door? 2 days passed. Neither of us brought up that moment in the hallway. It just hung there between us, thick and silent like a wall we couldn't see over. Ryan acted normal, too normal. He asked how work was, if I wanted to try that new Thai place, even offered to pick up groceries on his way home. But his eyes never really met mine. Not fully. And I was done pretending things were okay. That's when the second twist hit me. I wasn't looking for it, it came to me. I got a message. Not from Maya. Not even from Ryan. It was from someone I didn't know. A woman named Tara. Her message was simple. "Hi. I think we need to talk. It's about your husband." At first, I thought it was spam. A mistake. But something made me respond. We met at a quiet cafe. Tara was nervous, constantly checking around as if she wasn't sure she should be there. She finally said it, "I didn't know he was married. I found out yesterday." I ended it immediately. My heart stopped. I asked her to explain. She showed me messages, screenshots, conversations with Ryan under a different name. Pictures. Nothing explicit, but still personal. Emotional. She said they'd been talking for a few months. He told her he was single. Said he was still healing from a past relationship. I stared at the phone screen, feeling like I'd stepped into a story that couldn't be mine. A fake name, another woman, and a whole version of him I never saw. I didn't cry. I just felt hollow. Like something had quietly fallen apart inside me. When I got home, Ryan was making dinner. He smiled when he saw me, like he always did. I smiled back. But this time, the smile wasn't real. I didn't say anything that night. I couldn't. I needed to think. I needed to understand what I'd just learned. Was Maya part of this too? Or was Tara just one of many? And the biggest question of all, why? Why would someone who seemed so stable, so loving, build a double life? Now the silence between us wasn't just filled with doubt, it was filled with evidence. With lies I could finally see. But I still hadn't confronted him. Not yet. Because before I do, I need to be sure I'm ready for whatever truth comes next. Do you think he truly loved her? Or was she just a distraction? Could a man live 2 lives and still come home every night acting like nothing happened? Tell me in the comments, should she walk away now, or give him one last chance to explain? Do you believe in second chances, or is this the end of something that never really was? That evening, I waited until after dinner. Ryan was watching TV, casually flipping channels like it was any other night. I sat beside him, heart racing, hands cold. I turned off the TV with the remote. He looked at me, confused. I looked straight into his eyes and said, "I met someone today. Her name is Tara." His face dropped. For the first time in weeks, he didn't try to hide anything. No fake smiles, no calm lies. Just silence and then, a deep sigh. He didn't ask how I met her. He didn't ask what she told me. That said enough. I asked him why. Not just about Tara, but about everything. The secrets, the distance, the way he let someone like Maya walk into our life like she belonged. Ryan sat there, hands clasped, and finally spoke. I didn't mean for it to go this far. I didn't plan anything. I just felt like I was disappearing. He said being married to me felt like living in my shadow. That I had everything together, career, confidence, control. And somewhere in that, he lost himself. Tara, she listened without judging. She made me feel seen, he said. The words stung. But they were honest. Maybe for the first time in a long time. I asked about Maya. He shook his head. Nothing happened between us. She was just curious. She asked questions. I answered too many. It wasn't betrayal in the way I feared. It was something more subtle, more dangerous, emotional distance. Quiet disloyalty. That slow fade of connection that turns into something worse when you're not looking. I stood up, ready to leave, heart shattered but clear. But before I reached the door, he said something that stopped me cold. Tara lied to you. She knew I was married. She knew everything. She told me from the beginning she wanted to ruin your perfect little life. She's your ex-friend's cousin. That twist hit like a punch. I turned slowly, stunned. What? He nodded. I didn't believe her at first. Then I saw pictures of you two from college. She's been following you for years. Everything spun. The betrayal wasn't just from Ryan. It went deeper. Planned. Intentional. So now I'm left asking, was this all a setup from the start? What would you do if the one person you thought broke your heart was also a victim? Tell me in the comments, should she forgive, or walk away for good? I stood there, frozen, staring at Ryan. The air felt heavy, like the truth itself had shifted the room. I'd come ready to end things, prepared to walk away from a broken marriage. But now I was facing something else entirely, a deeper betrayal, wrapped in jealousy, fed by someone who knew me too well. Ryan said Tara had followed my life for years. That she envied what she thought was a perfect marriage. And when Maya opened the door with her visit, Tara walked right in. Manipulating Ryan. Feeding his insecurities. Pushing him further from me, not just with words, but calculated attention. She made me feel like I was taking control again, he admitted, but I see it now. I was being controlled. We sat in silence for a long time. Not as a couple, not as enemies. Just two people who'd lost each other along the way. We talked, really talked, for the first time in months. About how we got here. About what we'd both ignored. The long hours. The quiet resentment. The things we thought love could survive without attention. I didn't forgive him that night. But I didn't leave either. Over the next few weeks, we tried something unfamiliar, honesty without defense. We went to counseling. We relearned how to speak, how to listen. And somewhere between broken conversations and silent walks, we started rediscovering the small things, the way he knew when I needed space, and I remembered how he liked his tea strong, no sugar. As for Tara, I never reached out again. I didn't need revenge. The truth exposed her, and that was enough. Maya. She eventually messaged me, apologizing for everything. She claimed she never meant harm, just didn't know how to stop once things got complicated. I wished her well, and let her go. Now, months later, I'm not saying everything is perfect. But it's real. Stronger in ways it wasn't before. Because sometimes, love doesn't just survive the storm, it starts again after it. So what do you think? Should she have left him? Or did she make the right choice by staying and rebuilding? Comment below, I want to hear your thoughts. Would you give a second chance in love, even after betrayal? 2.